Hello, Dr. Zeina.
Hello.
مرحبا. We are live.
Hello. How are you, Sandra?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being with us tonight. هيدي أول مرة بتطلعي معنا على platform سيرة. We have the honor and the pleasure to have crossed path وإن شاء الله بيكون بيناتنا a lot of collaboration. أنا رح أتركك تعرفي عن حالك in just 1 minute. يعني يلي بنعرفه عنك you are an expert and a reference بالwellness field it's يعني we are very pleased يعني waiting for the session tonight. عنا كتير attendance تنحكي بالburn out تنحكي يعني من خبرتك from a wellness perspective وكمان from a coach perspective لأنك you coach a lot of executives, a lot of people in the workplace this is a topic that is very very dear to everybody's heart, خصوصي الناس يلي بتشتغل والناس يلي بتجرب تعمل work life balance ويعني تقدر تنسق بين الشغل وبين غير aspects من حياتها. قبل ما يعني we kick off with the subject ونتعرف عليك أكتر, I would like to thank all our audience اللي معنا الليلة. إن شاء الله رح نقضي مع دكتور زينة an hour and a half بين presentation و learning وبين discussions نحكي بcases, تشاركونا خبرتكم, بنقدر نساعد بعض يعني الناس اللي عم تقطع ببيرن اوت بتقدر تساعد غيرها. هيدا الباور اوف ذا كولكتيف وهيدي يعني هيدا هدف سيرة انه نفرجي للعالم انه كلنا بنقطع بالسيم ستراجلز وكلنا عنا ذات المشاكل بنقدر نحلها سوا. فهلا مثل ما شايفين نحن لايف مع دكتور زينب. Please don't hesitate to ask us your questions through the Q&A وعندكم الاوبشن تسالوا سؤالكم anonymously لما يبين اسمكم على الريكوردينج ونحافظ على البرايفسي تبعكم. تقريبا 45 to 50 minutes is the presentation. بعدين بننقل سوا على a virtual room, a safe space. رح نعلمكم كيف بننقل سوا وبنقدر نحكي مع دكتور زينة لايف. ما بيكون في ريكوردينج, فيكم تحكوا بكيسز, فيكم تشاركونا خبرتكم أو just listen in أو حتى تسألونا أسئلتكم anonymously بالطريقة اللي أنتم بترتاحوا فيها. نحن بنكون عم نتشارك سوا الموضوع الليلة. هيدا كل شيء من ميلتي أنا. دكتور يعني we are keen to listen to you, نتعرف عليكي أكثر وتخبرينا أكثر عن event burnout.
Sure. أول شيء thank you Sandra لاستضافتك على البلاتفورم. I'm really very excited to be here. It has been really a pleasure meeting you a few months back and starting to work with you. This topic كتير عزيز على قلبي لأنه I have been through it myself and مقربين علي كمان has been through it. Just a brief introduction عني. هو I come from a nutrition background. I have a PhD in nutrition and dietetics and I leveraged into coaching after graduating from my PhD لأنه حسيت إنه there is a need for behavior modification at the roots of human behavior. يعني نحن as dietitians and as nutritionists we have the ability to help and serve, but part of me was not convinced إنه whatever we are counseling with is being actually applied. And من هيك كان عنا كتير failures, at least أنا عندي يعني in weight loss, in diabetes, in hypertension, in you name it. And this is how I geared into coaching, and I started my coaching career in 2005. And I have become a master certified coach after all of these years. I introduced coaching to Lebanon كمان. And then I decided that إنه أوكي أنا ما بفهم psychology background كتير تبع الكوتشنج لأنه جاية from a real بس scientific background of nutrition. So I dived into another PhD in human behavior and counseling to understand really the human brain. So I'm fascinated by wellness. I'm fascinated by the human being's wellness, from behavior to spiritual to everything. And this is how my life is. I am certified in many tools and assessments, and so I do a lot of things along the path. And I'm humbled to be able to be in this industry and to be able to serve others. And today what we're going to discuss is burnout. Burnout هو topic كتير كبير, it is misunderstood. But what I want to start with today is basically by the definition of burnout. يلي هو it is actually a disease. يعني نحن كنا بنقول we are stressed وتعبانين وما بعرف شو. It's not that. Burnout is a disease. It is now acknowledged in the DSM that it is a disease, and we need to know that. In 2019, this has been characterized. يعني دغري قبل الكوفيد. The definition of burnout is syndrome that is conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. So it is directly related للشغل. So بس نقول إنه نحن عنا burnout, it is directly related للشغل. It's nothing to do with our personal life. أكيد ال work-life balance بيأثر عليه, بس the pure definition of burnout لأنه not to be misguided and to use it in the wrong way is very important to understand how to do so. What are the dimensions of burnout? في عنا 3 dimensions. أولا is physical. نحن بنحس إنه ما في طاقة خلص, وهيدي الكلمة بنضل نقولها. I'm exhausted. I have no energy. ما عم بقدر أقوم الصبح. My energy ما عم ضاين لساعة 7. إذا بوصل ل7 دغري 8 بدي نام. ما عم ضاين. بنام مع أولادي على 8 بقوم بلاقي يعني هول العبارات موجودة. Increased mental distance from one's job or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to one's job. يعني بس فكر إنه بدي روح على الشغل ببلش عندي عوارض. هلا in the next slide بنبلش بنحكي عن ال stages of burnout. بس ببلش عندي عوارض of negativity وما بدي ويا الله وعندي شغل blaming everything and everyone. So that's another issue. بعدين بخف البرفورمانس تبعنا. Our professionalism and our efficacy, it is decreased. So it is actually an occupational phenomenon. It's very important to understand أنه burnout is a spectrum. يعني في عدة stages of burnout, وفي هلا we are going to go through those stages. بس في stage 1 وفي stage 12 where you are خلاص you're completely checked out. completely يعني خلاص نحن بنقول إنه ممكن this is a suicidal case. خلاص صرنا هونيك يعني ما بقى بيقدر الواحد completely. So stage 1 is where you are always on the run to prove yourself. There's this strong need where كل الوقت واحد راكد إنه you want to prove yourself. Stage 2 is you keep working harder and harder to achieve this proving of yourself. Like you keep adding on to what you need to do. In stage 3, you begin to neglect your own needs أكتر وأكتر وأكتر. يعني الأشياء اللي كنتوا تنبسطوا تعملوها من قبل بتصيروا خلص تعبان ما بدي أعملها أو ما إلي جلد أعملها أو بتصيروا هونيك وبكون هذا الشيء need. It is very important لألكم. يعني مثل سبور، مثل واحد يأكل مزبوط، مثل واحد to connect with his friends. This is what it means. Stage 4, you become conflicted and you start blaming others or the situation that you are in. هون ببلش يغير السايكي تبعنا. In stage 5 بتغيروا الفوكس and you change your values to focus on work more. خلاص كل شيء بالpersonal life بيوقف. In stage 6 you deny the problems that arise due to work stress. يعني من وراء الشغل عم بيصير عندي مشاكل بالبيت، or من وراء الشغل I'm neglecting my kids, or من وراء الشغل اتخنقت with my fiancé, or من وراء الشغل أهلي زعلوا مني. هالأشياء هيدي. In stage 7 ببلش يصير في withdrawal from social life and your family. يعني you just want to be on your own. You just don't want to connect بقى completely. Stage 8 is when your behavior changes, which upsets your loved ones, and you might become more aggressive, you might become angrier, you might become more possessive. So emotions that are negative ببلشوا يتغيروا، وهون ببلش السينيسيزم، ببلش واحد يصير cynical and sarcastic، بزت كلمات هيك مثل بده يزعج الثاني. In stage 9 على أسوأ بيصير في depersonalization and خلص بواحد ما بيعود يحس حاله إنه he is himself. خلص just like on automatic you are working and just moving in this life with no passion, no purpose, no intention, all of that. In stage 10 ببلش emptiness and numbness, and هون ببلش substance abuse. هلا in substance abuse it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be food, it could be sex, it could be shopping, it could be anything, any kind of substance abuse. In stage 11 depression ماشي كل الوقت، يعني feeling of sadness, feelings of anxiety, feeling lost and feeling completely exhausted all the time, mentally, emotionally and physically. Stage 12 you are completely checked out, like completely خلاص إنه you're not here بقى. هلا these 12 stages مش هيك categorical, they or 12 manifestations أنا بسميهم. We oscillate back and forth between these manifestations. So ممكن نكون stage 12 ونرجع على stage 7 نرجع. Okay, so basically it is oscillating كل الوقت. هلا what are the causes of burnout؟
سوري دكتور، عنا سؤال. قد ايه سريعة هالسايكل بتشوفيها عادة بالكلينيك وإن براكتس؟ يعني قد ايه بتشوفي ناس بتنقل بسرعة من ستيج لستيج؟
هلا usually الناس اللي يجوا لعندي على الكلينيك بيكونوا 9 10 11 12 آخر ستيج، لأنه people have the tendency not to acknowledge what they're going through. هلا once we start working بيصير في oscillation أكتر، يعني بيصير بيطلعوا stages وبيطلعوا stages، يعني لكنه طلعوا من البيرن اوت. لأنه بيرن اوت ممكن يبقى سنة سنة ونص تطلعي منه، وفي PTSD يعني في Post Traumatic Stress Disorder لبعدين بالحياة. يعني بتصيري خلص هذا المحل وهذا الشغل ما بقى فيه، I cannot deal with it. الوقت is dependent على الشخص وقديه سيفير البيرن اوت كمان يلي عنده اياه يعمل الاسوسيشن. هلا طالما انت باول 7-8 it is quick.
اوكي.
بس تقفز 8 ل 12 it becomes اكثر عم تشتغلي على البرين اكثر من الفيزيكال. اوكي.
اوكي.
What are the causes of burnout؟ هلا بالسبعينات في كريستينا مازلاك، هي she developed what we call the Maslach burnout inventory. يعني أنا بعمل التست يلي هو تعرف إذا أنا عندي you are burnt out ولا لا. It's an assessment بنعمله. And it showed that burnout comes from 3 major causes. أولهم هو unmet expectations. This is the first one. The second is a lack of control over a situation. And the third is insufficient rewards. يعني أنا عم بشتغل بس ما عندي rewards يلي أنا I want. هلا no matter what the actual cause is, مثلا like no electricity, changing regulation, that reason can be filed in a different or in one of these categories. But then through research تعرفنا إنه burnout is related to leadership and being able to take care of yourself and how well you are, and related to certain characteristics where some people are more prone to burnout than others are. So هون زدنا البيرسونال characteristics وزدنا leadership والself care. بقى بطلوا بس unmet expectations إنه إحنا بنقول stress is unmet expectations and lack of control or insufficient reward. صار كمان leadership in any form and your personality and how much you take care of yourself. So if you go over, let's say, some of these unmet expectations, lack of control, and insufficient rewards, عنا, for example, some causes are we're not happy in our work-life balance, feeling that contributions انعملت they were unappreciated, عم نشتغل ب a high stress environment with ما في margin للerror أبداً. أنا I work a lot with physicians وهلأ بخبركم كم خبرية about physicians and otherwise. الهيلث كير يعني ما في يعني واحد ممنوع يغلط. إذا غلط يعني تخيلوا إنسان ممنوع يغلط. This is not يعني واحد ما يغلط. So this increases burnout. Decreased autonomy. ما في واحد يكون بقى independent. Motivational mismatch between a person and their work. هون بيلعب الكوتش دور كتير كبير والكارير كوتش بيلعب دور كتير كبير وقتها بنعمل البرسوناليتي تايب تيستينج وبنعمل الايموشنال انتليجنس تيستينج تنشوف طب هل يا ترى هل شخص بالمحل المضبوط يلي هو عم يشتغل فيه بالبوزيشن المضبوطة ولا لا. Another one could be tasks outside of providing direct patient care إذا عم نحكي بالhealth care مثل teaching, precepting, research and administrative duties. هيدا عم بحكي health care لأنه الhealth care industry لوحدها، بس عم ناخدها كمان على educative system كمان it's the same thing. يعني كل شيء extra curricular عم نعمله عم بيزيد burnout causes. ماشي لهلا؟ Okay. So let me tell you about one story or a couple of stories. So I work a lot with burnout, and the way I discovered burnout actually was through my husband. So my husband is a physician. He's an emergency room physician. And once I was certified in emotional intelligence, جيت قلت له, you need to take that test. And, you know, as an emergency room physician and an internist, he's also an internist, قال لي, why do I need to take that test? I am very highly emotionally intelligent. قلت له, because you need to take that test لأنه you are actually screaming at your 3-year-old بالبيت, و sometimes تشوفك عم بتصرخ على اللابتوب تبعك, عم تحكي معه لللابتوب. And that was way back. قال لي من بعد هون وهون, قال لي إنه okay, I will take the test. That was after a couple of years. طلع عنده ال EQ very low, يلي هو emotional intelligence, like really low. قال لي your scores are wrong and I'm not gonna deal with it. هلا هي حكاية كتير physicians and many leaders and many C-suite people and all of that. In a setting, كنا موجودين in a conference for coaching. We started a discussion with many other coaches, and he started asking about that. And then he knew he was burnt out completely, and his flexibility was close to zero. His emotional awareness was also close to zero, and negativity, cynicism, and all of that. And this is how we started our literature in 2012 on burnout.
اللي عم تقولنا يا دكتور زينة إنه معقول نكون burned out بس ما بنعرف.
Yes. And مش بس ما بنعرف, we are in denial. لأنه especially in the industry of service, in نحن any kind of service, human service, the healthcare or psychologists or coaches, we are at high risk of burnout. And we don't acknowledge it. So we have a problem there. هي أول قصة تاني. And then we started working, and then we started the research, and we wrote a book, and we did a lot of publications, and we have become the experts in that out of this only simple test of emotional intelligence. Another story of a really beautiful young woman that I worked with. She was around 35, and she used to work in an NGO. And she loved to serve. And her position was a business administrative position, بس ال NGO كانت كتير كبيرة وكانت عم بتقلع, and حطوا كتير مسؤوليات عليها. So she went through the whole dynamics of وصلت للstage 12. يعني هي وصلت مش suicidal, بس وصلت ما بقى فيها تقوم من التخت خلص. يعني أنا أختها جبتها لعندي, ما فيها تقوم بالتخت, بس ما فيها عندها شيء مشكل فحص الدم. And usually this is how it is. So the people usually بيروحوا عند الحكيم, ما بيهون شيء, بيعملوا فحص دم, ما بيهون شيء, everything is fine فحص الدم, but they're not non-functional. They don't understand what's going on with them. And they don't want to deal with anyone. Or so anyways, we started working, we coached, عملنا الburnout test, طلعت severely burnt out, عملنا other assessments, we started exercising a bit and all of this. أكيد تركت شغلها completely, يعني أخذت leave لأنه خلاص she's not functional بقى, but this is an extreme case. Anyway, after 3 months, she went back to work, she resigned. بس بعد سنة رجعوا طلبوا منها ترجع على هذا الشغل وزبطوا لها الأورز وكل شيء, رفضت قطعيا, ما كان فيها, لأنه قالت لي دكتور أنا ما بقدر أتخيل حالي بهذا الجو بقى، لأنه عملت نوع من post traumatic stress disorder. وهلأ صار لها 9 سنين تاكي. I see her from time to time. بتقلي بعدني إذا بتذكر هالمرحلة من حياتي I don't want to even deal with it. Sorry. So needless to say it was intense يعني.
دكتور عنا سؤال من الأودينس. سئلتي إنه burn out is restricted to professional workplace. عم بيسأل حدا من الأودينس إنه does it include stay at home moms يعني كمان they are doing chores وعم بيكون عندهم كذا شغلة to deal with و it's tasks so best workplace ولا لا we can extend it to
it
the
is
home.
It is workplace بس but في قصة تانية من بعد كوفيد. لأنه كوفيد صار كل شيء بالبيت يعني. هلا they're looking at different literature تشوفوا وبعدهم هلا لأنه في كتير بعد countries بعدهم منهم fully functional يعني بتروحي على الشغل physically. هلا بالstay at home moms it depends على كم ولد فيه، لأنه really it makes a whole lot of difference وقد ايه عليها مسؤوليات. لأنه in a partnership it doesn't really matter إذا she's a stay-at-home mom ولا لأ. There should be division of labor بقلب البيت. And even if the father is working or vice versa, it doesn't matter. The moms يلي ما بيطلعوا من postpartum depression ممكن ما بيطلعوا ما بيعرفوا إنه عاملين postpartum depression بتصير تعل معهم الشغلة أكتر، يعني ما بيقدروا يمسكوا حالهم ويكفوا لقدام. بس لا we cannot label it to stay at home moms unless they are working من البيت. Okay. So what are some risk factors for burnout? هلا the internal factors مثل ما قلنا lack of self-control. You are very self-critical of everything you do. You engage in ممكن to sabotage you. You will do it. And مثلا بتدخنوا you overeat تعمل emotional eating drink a lot of alcohol do chores for other people that you don't need to people pleasing or هيك يعني. Sleep deprivation can become toxic internally. بيخلق physical toxins وبيخلق مشاكل عند الإنسان. Some personality traits might affect. One could be people that have perfectionism in character and people that are عندهم cognitive distortions يعني people that they maximize things كتير they generalize things. people بيطلعوا على القصص marginally بنقوا negative things بس من الأشياء. These are cognitive distortions. Sometimes demographic variables وين نحن عايشين بيأثر. Idealism الإنسان يلي عنده كتير idealism بكاركتره شوي منه على الأرض ممكن يتعرض لبيرن أوت لأنه ما في شيء عاجبه nothing بيعجبه. And overcommitment. Of course an overcommitment when a person is commits a lot it's not only at work it's all over. يعني بيكون بتلاقي الشخص socially is overcommitted بالبيت is overcommitted بالشغل is overcommitted everywhere.
So دكتور بس تنفهم عادة these are types of people بيصير معهم burnout ولا because of burnout we have a tendency to start adapting some of these or because of the work stress منصير كمان شخصيتنا بتتغير منصير بركي عنا coping mechanisms مش منيحة منصير self critical يعني هل الوحدة بتسبق الثانية ولا الاثنين they affect each other?
No, what I'm saying here is that these are certain internal factors that have been discovered to increase burnout in specific individuals.
يعني لازم نحن نكون this type of person وعنا اياهم ديجا بيصير عنا أكتر chance نكون burned out.
Yes, there's a more risk that to have it, yes.
Okay.
Self-care and wellness. So, إذا بدي أقول لكم شو يعني self-care, and this is something that is very close to my heart. Self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting your own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. It is actively doing it. مش إنه يلا هلا بكرة أو يلا هلا بعدين أو طيب جمعة الجاي أو تنين أو شهر الجاي هلا كتير مضغوطة or this is not self-care. It doesn't work this way. Wellness is the state of being in good health, especially as an actively pursued goal. وبس أقول wellness ما عم بحكي بس إنه عم نحكي about your physical wellness. عم نحكي about your mental wellness. عم نحكي about your emotional wellness. عم نحكي about your spiritual wellness. واحد يكون عنده this alignment and this congruence بيناتهم كلهم. And people have the tendency إنه طب ما كيف واحد بيلحق دايما أنا هذا السؤال إنه like إنه طب كيف واحد بيلحق. So self-care and wellness inoculate يعني vaccine. It's a vaccine to help prevent, to help mitigate, and to help manage and treat burnout. يعني أول شيء أنا بعمله بس يجي لعندي حدا منه منيح ما بيعرف إنه عامل burnout. أول شيء شو بعمل فحص دم. برجع بعمل body composition assessment لجسمه. برجع بعمل metabolic testing بشوف شو عنده كيف بيحرق قد بياخد أكسجين كل هولي. بعمل a consult about his health and his wellness and his mental health and emotional health. برجع ببلش شغل. This is how I operate. لأنه إذا ما ببلش من تحت من الفيزيولوجي ما في اشتغل. I cannot work. So people take it for granted totally. إنه هذا آخر شيء بيجي. وشفتك عم تضحكي ساندرا. Higher levels of resilience were associated with a lower risk of burnout. So كمان إذا واحد عنده the ability إنه يتحمل and how يتحمل من دون ما يأذي حاله كمان it lowers the risk of burnout. هلا when it comes to leadership in 2015 Tate Chanafelt, he's a guru or a researcher in leadership, he conducted a study on what we call the leadership index. And there was a 12 question questionnaire, and each question had 5 points. And so you ended up with a 60-point scale. He was able to show that for every point upward on a 60-point scale, meaning if you can improve someone's leadership index by just 1 point, there was basically for every point on that 6-point, there was 9% greater staff satisfaction and 3.3% less burnout. Also, Mayo have shown and demonstrated the importance of frontline leadership and well-being and professional satisfaction on physicians. هلأ الphysicians صار عندهم oath جديد غير الoath القديم، مجبورين يهتموا بحالهم. It is محطوط بالoath الجديد تبعهم من 2018 وطالع. At the department and division levels, 11% of variation in burnout and 47% of variation on satisfaction with the organization was also explained by the leader index of the chairperson. What this means, عم فرجيكم شوية data لأنه it is important تعرفوا إنه the data on burnout حطوا burnout on Google Scholar وشوفوا شو بيطلع. طلعوا شو بيطلع. It's everywhere. وهلا well-being at work is the number one thing we are working on لأنه it is catastrophic من بعد COVID. It is catastrophic. Another study, teachers and healthcare workers. Yes, go ahead.
عنا سؤال إنه اليوم هل بتشوفي burn out مثلا صح حطيتي أنت بإندستري معينة، في أعمار معينة، كمان في genders معينة، يعني do we find it more in female than male, do we find it more in an age group؟ يعني من حديثنا مع with companies عم نسمع إنه الشرك are complaining أكتر إنه young are suffering from burnout. the HR حتى they are struggling to know هل مزبوط burn out ولا اليوم كل واحد حس بشيء شوي متضايق بيجي وبيشتكي من burn out. So how can they recognize إنه their employees have truly burn out?
They need to do an assessment. There's an assessment that they need to do, and there must be a coach that has a psychology background also that does the assessment. لأنه a regular coach ما بيقدر يشتغل على هذا الموضوع لأنه there's a lot of psychology that we need to work with and therapy sometimes. So تجاوبك على أول سؤال. Yes, the younger generations, يعني Generation Z and the millennials are more burnt out. Is it related to genders أكتر? In all of the studies that I have looked upon worldwide, it is related more to the type of work that you do than the gender أكتر. So any type of work where you cannot do errors، يعني أنت ما فيك تغلطي أبداً لأنه ممكن تأذي، دائماً بتلاقي البيرن أوت أعلى. يعني in surgery, in engineering work يلي تحت الضغط كتير، هيك أخبار. So yes. هلأ هون ساعتها بنفوت بقصص Generation Z والميلينيالز وجنريشن X، صار موضوع كتير كتير كبير وما فينا we cannot address it today. بس yes مزبوط يلي عم تقولي، مش burn out أكتر، في more depression، في more anxiety، في more lack of satisfaction، في غير أشياء. And they need to do assessments. This is another study كمان about teachers and healthcare workers. أكتر شيء they are prone to high rates of burnout. In general, nearly 3 out of 5 employees reported negative impacts of work-related stress, including lack of interest, motivation, or energy, تقريباً 26%, and lack of effort at work, 19%. هلا, how do you know if you have the right mindset or you need to change that mindset? And let's look at a few thoughts here in terms of you might what you might need to change. Okay, هلا, if you continuously focus on what is wrong, that is a mindset that is worth looking into. If you mourn your failures without celebrating your successes, يعني ما بتطلع على successes. شو واحد أنجز بنهاره أو بشهره أو بسنته. You don't want to face truth. You are in total denial. Health, community, social life, personal life, something at work, كلهم. You get angry when your expectations are not met. مش إنه I start asking myself questions. So how did أنا react in this situation? What did I do? دغري I get angry. You feel unsatisfied or unhappy with everything you have. ماني مبسوط. I'm not happy. You are constantly fighting with the ones you care about. You think about what you have to do and not what you get to do. هيدي جملة كتير بحبها. You think about what you have to do and not what you are privileged to do. You see yourself as a victim. You hold on to other people's dreams and you watch life passing by. So if you have any of these, it is interesting for you to have a conversation with a coach or a professional, just to start a conversation. How do we combat burnout? How many of you know somebody that has burnout or is burnout now, currently? إذا فيكم تحطوا بالQ&A, I would love to hear that from Sandra.
or in the chat. بياخد شوية وقت لأنه عنا ديلي بيننا وبينه.
It's okay. I would just like to see some numbers.
أكيد اليوم يعني يلي موجودين معنا already we have more than 40 attendee ديجا بيعني لهم الموضوع so أوكي عم بيجينا 2 3 so في كتير 1
I'm so
سامي
proud. They are acknowledging.
في عنا سامي.
Okay. What I wanted out of this is I wanted you to really have a good look at yourself and see where you are and acknowledge if you are in any of those stages and acknowledge it, not to me, to yourself. That's what's important.
diagnosed.
ما سمعت شو قلتي ساندرا؟
حدا كتب severely undiagnosed كمان.
Severely undiagnosed. Okay. He needs to talk to us. Or she needs to talk to us, whoever. Or someone. All right. I'm going to give you very briefly some strategies that are very general to combat burnout. You have to sleep by any way, shape, or form. لأنه people that have burnout ما بيقدروا يناموا. They are very anxious. You have to eat well, nourished well. You have to do physical activity regularly, at least 3 to 4 times a week, at least. هلا إذا بدي أحط my nutrition hat و my dietetics hat بصير بقلكم ساعة كل يوم لأنه this is the recommendation for adults and for children actually. Identify and maintain priorities in your life. Schedule vacation time. وقت أقول vacation يعني مش مرة بالسنة، بالشهر وبالجمعة. في نهار بالجمعة واحد ما بيشتغل فيه. That is a given. And at least once a month واحد needs to connect يظهر ما يعمل شيء مع عالم, to connect with people, to increase your oxytocin. And once a year, have a proper vacation of 2 weeks. That is very important. Participate in outside interests. Meditate or pray. Meditation is very important. Stillness is very important. اضحكوا على حالكم. Maintain a sense of humor. مش على غيركم, على حالكم. لأنه على غيركم بتكونوا judgmental. Recognize what are your limitations. إنه مش كلنا superhumans and we can do stuff. We can do what we can do. We excel in certain things, and in certain things we have limitations. Engage in self-reflection about you. What are you happy about? What are you not happy about? What are you grateful for? What are you not? ما نأجل هولي كمان كل الوقت بس للنيو يير ونيو يير ريزولوشن وبعد جمعة من النيو يير ما بنعمل شيء. ما في جمعة. Friends and more friends, and seek support. There are platforms بتصيرها that provide this kind of support. It's very important that we seek support. And for whatever you do, set realistic goals. مش إنه something that is unrealistic. And as much as you can at the organizational level, if you can, your space, تكون a healthy space, that will be great. Now, the rules of wellness, and when we talked about wellness and self-care, there are 3 rules. But before I talk about these rules, how many of you get really frustrated because you know people who continue having problems, say they have high cholesterol, they have heart disease, and they want to take medications, but you know, they know and they need what they need to do first. They need to stop eating junk food. They need to stop cigarette smoking. They need to exercise. They need to, okay? So, for example, if somebody has heart disease and they smoke, okay, you would tell them, you need to quit smoking. This is something very simple, and common sense. And these people, they frustrate you and sometimes you frustrate yourself. So it's very important that you understand what are your limitations, and if you cannot deal with it, seek a professional help. Hala, if you are going to help yourself against burnout, and you should be willing to stop the things that make you burnt out in the first place, or you are going to frustrate yourself, and you are continuously doing. If you continuously do what you continuously do, this is the mere definition of crazy. If you keep doing the same things and expect different results.
Einstein.
So we have to change. Hala, at the heart of wellness, منبلش بشيء كتير underrated, هو self-love. ما بنعرف نحب حالنا. شو يعني نحب حالنا? This is selfish. The first thing I get, this is selfish. Self-compassion. Be soft مع حالنا. مش وحوش. لأنه فينا نكون وحوش, especially professionals and people in the work environment and people that want to do work-life balance. And the third thing is self-care. So the 4 steps of successful wellness are: أول شيء we decide. أنا قررت بدي أعمل هيك. So you develop the mindset. Second, you take control. Okay, whatever you can take control of. We cannot take control of everything in our lives. But أنا يلي فيي أعمل له control, I will take control of it. Third thing is taking time. يا عمي self care بده وقت. It needs time. ما فينا نسل وسلق. It doesn't work this way. And creating a habit. Once you ingrain that habit, which needs between 60 and 90 days, we go on to something else that we need to accomplish.
ذكرتيني في interview عملوها مع شخص بالتك very high manager senior manager بيشتغل بالتك اندستري، وبالتك اندستري كتير في بيرن اوت. عم بيسألوه انه كيف ديانا قد ايه لك بالاندستري؟ قال لهم 10 سنين. قالوا له انه كيف you don't burn out وكيف بتضاين؟ لانه عادة ما بيضاينوا كتير، سنتين ثلاثة بيكونوا خلص غيروا. ايه creating a habit كتير مزبوطة. هو بيسميها opposite world، إنه بيرقص بعد الشغل، بيرجع بيتعلم رقص. 50 سنة عمره خلص أخذ dancing class، لأنه he switches off هالبرين يلي كل الوقت مركز، كل الوقت مفوكس على الشغل to just do something else that he loves.
أكيد.
So as simple as doing something that you love just after hours.
Yes. It is very important. نفهم the concept of rest. Rest is not watching a movie. Rest is not being on social media. This is not rest. Rest is مظبوط مثل ما قلتي switching off. It could be meditation, it could be dancing, it could be a physical activity, swimming, it could be playing chess.
مشاهي في اشياء بدها مصاري، يعني بعرف نحن يمكن عم نحكي اشياء مش رياليستيك، الوضع صعب وكل هول، بس في اشياء كتير انه حتى
Very
فري.
simple. Very simple. Even connecting with somebody. When you connect with somebody socially من دون نق، لأنه what I have realized إنه بلبنان دغري بيمشي النق، يعني ما في focus on what's working, شو آخر كتاب قريته, what's the latest movie you watched, and what is your opinion about شو عرفني this kind of parenting. ولا it's about شو اللي مش ماشي, whatever مش ماشي منبلش نحكي فيه. So هيدا الشيء ما بيمشي. هلا what I want you to do very simply in a few minutes is to look at this self-care and wellness wheel. And فيه healthy finances, where are you? Healthy environment, where are you? Healthy self-care, where are you? Healthy relationship, where are you? Healthy thoughts, where are you? Healthy time, where are you? هيك خربشوا على ورقة صغيرة شوي، حطوا حالكم انتوا وين from 0 to 10 بكل category. And once you do so, what I need you to do is identify one activity la 3 of your lowest scores. يعني 3 من السكورز تبعكم الواطين. Identify one activity لا تعلوا سكور شوي، مش لل10. يعني إذا سكوركم 5 ليعلى ل6 أو 7. And once you do that, go and do this activity for 3 months. And send Sarah if this worked or not.
هنتابع نحن.
Yes. It's just a matter of time before we're late. And I will submit to you that we are already late on several fronts. The time is now. The topic of burnout is a huge topic, and I just barely touched a bit of it today and scratched the surface. There is so much to be done, but allow me to tell you what I would like to highlight. This is about change. This is about a change with insight that is directly related to something that will connect to your purpose. And when it does that, you will have motivation. So the time is now to act against burnout with the proper mindset to tackle every problem that is in your way. From the research that we have done, what we have found that there are several elements that help in that. One is increasing your emotional intelligence. Two is self-care and wellness. Three is increasing your resilience. Four is increasing your self-leadership and how you lead yourself. And five, coaching, being coached and coached and coached. مثل الخلق. They have been found to show tremendous impact, both as tools to fight and tools to protect against burnout. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sandra, I lost you.
Help out and help them to navigate شو ما عم بيقطعوا فيه. So
You got disconnected. I couldn't hear you.
سوري كنت عم بقول لك انه عم تسمعيني؟
ايه هلا عم بسمع.
إيه كنت عم بقول لك انه نحن بنقول لك a big thank you for the very insightful session today. وكمان بنحب نذكر انه it is your team who are on the platform every Wednesday. عنا life coaches موجودين على البلاتفورم to help our audience, our users in their life journey. وبهالستراجلز اللي عم بيقطعوا فيها يلي خاصة بالشغل to balance work and life. So يعني ندعي الناس كمان تستفيد ويشوفوا الكوتشز to get مثل ما قلتي get coached again so that we can navigate these struggles. ما نكون لحال. نحن رح ننقل على الروم. بالروم يعني بنطلب من كل التنديز كمان ينقلوا معنا بالروم، نحكي أكتر معك in cases، بنفوت أكتر بأشياء personal. فينا يعني ناس تشاركنا خبرتها وتعطينا رأيك it's a safe space ما منسجل where people can go on camera and on voice إذا بدهم، أو حتى يكتبوا لنا anonymously in the chat كيف ما بيرتاحوا يتواصلوا معنا. So أنا I'm just gonna show gonna share my screen. Just one second. So نحن خالقين room. It's a virtual room ما منسجل فيها مثل ما حكينا. On your mobile phone على الاب بتقشعوا بالمنيو، رح تقشعوا كلمة room. اوكي بتكبسوا على room، رح تلاقوا room وحدة اسمها the other side of burnout. You just enter the room ونحن رح نكون ناطرينكم هونيك تنقدر نحكي سوا. Thank you so much دكتور زينة على هالويلث.
يا هلا.
ومنكفي حديثنا معك.
يلا هلا. يلا thank you.